Okay, good afternoon to all. I'm sharing my screen now. Is it visible to all? Hello? My voice is audible? Screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Uh, see, the yesterday's session or lecture we have seen what is the definition of the operator overloading. Okay, and we have seen the overloading unary operator. Okay, so let us start continue about this discussion. Second point, and today we are going to learn the binary operator overloading. Okay, and so I'm just okay. So I think this is overloading binary operator. Just 1 minute. Okay. Okay, so today's topic of discussion is overloading the binary operator. So I think it is same as we are overloading the unary operator. Okay, so the first point I have written is the same mechanism or method of unary operator overloading can be used to overload a binary operator. Okay, so only the difference is in unary operator means we are having the operator, okay, one and only one operand. Okay, so it is unary operator, but in the binary operator, okay, we can say it is having, we have to pass two operands to the operator. Okay, generally for example a plus b. Okay, so we are considering plus is the binary operator. Okay, so we should require two operands. Now, I think instead of having more discussion on it, let us consider the following overloading of the binary operator or program. So now we have going to use a program to overload the plus operator. Okay. Now, what is mean by overloading the plus operator? As we have seen in the previous session, suppose I am writing, suppose I have declared the three variable, it as integer. Okay, suppose c comma b comma a. Okay, and now in my main function or anywhere I have writing the statement a plus b, or I write it as c is my result, c is equal to a plus b. Okay, now in this case this c, a and b, all these are my normal data type integer. Okay, so it may be integer, float or character. Then this plus operator will act as a normal addition or arithmetic operator, okay, which perform the addition of the two numbers. Okay, so but what will happen, suppose this c, a and b, okay, these are not normal data type, but these are the object of the class. Okay, so C is one of the object of the class, E is also one of the object of the class, B is also considered as object of the class. In such a case, okay, now I am changing the meaning of this plus operator. It is actually the normal meaning of plus operator is addition of two numbers. Okay, but now I am using this plus operator to add the two objects. Okay, and return the value again, it's in the same object, third object. Okay, that is C. In such a case, what we need to do is we have to write down this overloading operator, or we call it as the operator function. Okay, we have to write down the function for this, so that if the to this plus operator, if objects are passed, then compiler knows that okay, it is operator overloading, and it has to call the operator function which is written for it. Okay, so that is why, that is what we are considering overloading the operator. Okay, so now let us consider the example or the program to overload the binary operator. I think in yesterday's session also we have seen if I can overload the unary minus operator, then we can also, we have seen easily I can change the same program to overload the plus plus operator, minus minus operator, okay, pre-increment, post-increment operator, and so on. Okay, so once we know one program of one binary operator, it is possible to continue with any other program for any other operator. Okay, so it is very important to understand one program of the binary operator overloading. Okay, so let us consider we are going to overload the operator addition, that is plus. We use the plus operator to add two complex numbers. Okay, so here what I'm considering, I'm writing a program which is going to add two complex numbers. Okay, so everyone knows that the complex number is having two parts. One is the real part and another is the imaginary part. Okay, so the complex number is having two parts. Okay, or both the real number and imaginary part both are of the floating point. Okay, so now we are considering the example where I'm going to add the two complex numbers. Okay, obviously I should have a class which is called as a complex. Okay, and then I will be in a position to write down the operator function for plus. Okay, so let us consider this as a program. So first what we have to define, we have to define the class. Okay, so that is what I'm going to show. First we understand here on the PPTs how exactly we can for binary operator overloading, binary operator, and then we go for the implementation. Okay, so let us understand the here how I can write down the class complex. Okay, so you can take any example. Here we are considering the plus operator is used to add the two complex numbers. Okay, so here I am having the class complex. Okay, it is having the two floating values x and y, where x is considered as the real part of the complex number and y is considered as the imaginary part. Complex number is now having two parts, real part and imaginary part. So the private data member. Okay, then we are specifying in public. So here I am using the two constructor here. Okay, the first constructor, this is my constructor number one, complex. I am not passing any argument to it, and it is my second where I am passing the argument to this function. Okay, constructor. Okay, complex because the name of the function is same as the name of the class. It is called as constructor. So I am passing the real part and imaginary part to this. Okay, and then after receiving these two parts from the user or maybe from the main function, I assign x is equal to real part and y is equal to imaginary part. This is my two data members I'm having. Okay, so I'm assigning x is equal to real, y is equal to imaginary. Okay, no issue with this. Okay, now we are interested in this particular operator function. Getting me? We are interested in this function where we are doing this operator overloading. Okay, so here I consider the what this operator, because see just now we have seen here what I want to say is, suppose I'm having the three members of this class. Okay, suppose I consider capital C is equal to A plus B. Okay, suppose I'm this is using this in my main function where A is my first object of the class complex, which is having the complex number. So it is having the x and y values, okay, real and imaginary part. B is also another object of the class. Okay, so B is the object, another object. Addition, I want to store or return it to the C. So my plus function, this function whatever I'm writing, operator function, it must return the value which is of the type object complex. Okay, so this is my return value. Okay, getting me? Return value of this function is complex because it is going to return object of the class complex. What is the name of? I must use the operator as a keyword. What is my operator I'm overloading is plus. We have seen in the previous lecture. And in bracket, now I am passing the one more member function which is of the type complex. Okay. Now here why I am not taking two arguments, only one argument that we will discuss once we do the program. I am having the separate discussion on shall I pass two object complex comma complex or only one object. Okay, so now you just concentrate over here. Okay, consider this is the way we are using the overloading the plus operator. Okay, and we are using one void function display to display this value. Okay, I hope it is very simple way it is explained. What is the class complex, and in the class complex having two constructor, having one function display and having one operator function, okay, which is overloading function. Okay, up to this it is clear to all. or anyone have any question? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any question related to this? Or whether you understood up to this, shall I continue with the next discussion?
Yes, sir.
So this is the class which we are defined for the plus operator. Okay, so next slide I'm just showing. See now how I'm going to write down the definition of the operator class, okay, or operator function. Okay, this is my function definition. Okay, return type is complex. This belongs to the class complex. So complex and co-resolution operator. Operator is the keyword. I'm going to overload the operator plus, okay, and back to C. Okay. Now here, what we are going to do, or what we are going to consider is, I have found the addition of the two complex number. Okay, it means third value or temporary value. So I use one more object of the data type complex. So that is my temporary. Complex temporary. So then I use temp dot x is equal to x plus c dot x. Whatever the second argument I'm having, that is generally passed as the second argument, and this first argument. So that's why I'm using it as a x, which directly has access to the data. So x dot c dot x and temp dot y is equal to y plus c dot y. So we are performing this addition of this, and I'm going to return this value temp. So temp is my object of the class complex. Okay, so this is the definition, okay, that we are having. We are going to implement. Okay, then I'm having the display function. It is very simple function. See out x is equal to, so I'm just displaying the value of the x. Okay, plus generally the complex number is written as the real part plus imaginary part, and before the imaginary part, to indicate it is imaginary part, we are adding plus j here. Okay, so j, and then I'm using this as a y value. Okay, so this is my x is my real part and y is my imaginary part, and this is the end of my function, which is called as a display function. Okay, so I hope all of you clear with what we are doing. Now what we can, how we can call this function in the main, okay, main function. So let us understand on the next PPT. Yes, this is our main function. See here, integer main function. So as I said, c is equal to a plus b, but here in this we are considering C2 and C3. Okay, or you may consider C is equal to A plus B. So you may declare this as A, B, and C. Okay, so it depends upon you. I think I have explained it as a A. This may be the capital B, and this may be capital C. Okay, or you can take it as a C1, C2, and C3. Okay, so what is the C1? Passing C1, it is the constructor that we are having. Invoke the constructor 2. Getting me? It is going to invoke the constructor number 2, and in constructor number 2 I am passing the first value is 2.5 real value and imaginary value is 3.5. Similarly I am passing C2 complex number another one, so C1 this is my function call, okay, to the operator overloading. Okay, then I am displaying what is the value of C1, I display the value of C2, and I display what should be after addition, what value I get it as a C3 by just calling the display function, okay, and return 0. Okay, I hope all of you understood the very simple way we are going to do the program for the binary operator overloading. Okay, so whatever we have learned just now, I want we should go for implementing this program and check the output whether it is correct or not. Okay, and then we continue our discussion. Okay, so 1 minute. I go for the previous. Maybe see someone is waiting in the class in time. Okay, and already you are joining it as a guest. Yes, hello, किशोर खडसरे, तुम्हाला माझा आवाज ऐकू येतोय का? Hello.
Yes, sir.
See, तुम्ही काय करत जावा? किशोर फडतरे, I'm asking about किशोर फडतरेचा आवाज आहे का हा? Hello. Okay, I think we should not waste our time. Okay, so let us go back to the open the Turbo C editor. Okay, I'm opening the Turbo C editor here. Yesterday we had done the program for unary operator overloading. Okay, now I go for the program. I call it as U2, sorry U3, correct? Unit number 3. Program number extension .c++. Visible to all. My editor Turbo C editor is visible to all.
Yes, sir.
So program to demonstrate binary operator okay. Initiation clear screen. As usual, we are going to include the unio.h, correct? Okay, so I think we should start with declaring the class first. What is the name of class is complex. As just now we have seen in the PPTs. Okay, so we go for defining this class complex. So the complex numbers are having two parts, real and imaginary part, correct? So we just go for real and imaginary part, which is of the type floating point. So float x and float y. Okay, so here x is my real part of this number and this is my imaginary part. Public, and we can use this function. So suppose I'm using the first constructor, okay, just to create this object. It is not going to do anything, but it's just going to create the object. So I use opening and closing bracket, and this is my constructor 1. Okay, I use the constructor number 2 where user can pass the values of real and imaginary to it. So I use it as a float real part and float imaginary part. Getting me? So this is my constructor 2. Okay. Now here I think I directly write down the code of this constructor here. It is x is equal to real part I am assigning and y is equal to imaginary part. Okay, so this is my two constructor. Now I have to write down the operator overloading function or operator function. What I am expecting, I want it should return the object of the type class. So return value is data type is complex. I must use the operate plus as a plus in bracket. I'm passing the again the object of the complex class to it. Okay, so this is my I write it as my operator function. Operator function, generally we call it as a prototype. Okay, so operator function that we are going to declare here. So generally we require one more function to display this value. So I use it as a function display. Okay, and this is the end of my class, complex class. Okay, end with semicolon. Okay, so we have declared here the class complex, having the data float x and y real and imaginary part, having two constructor. Okay, first constructor just to create the object. Second constructor will pass the take the value of real and imaginary from the user or main from main function. Then I'm using it as this as my operator function, and this is my display function. Okay, so let us start writing down this function. So first write down our function which we are using as a operator function. Okay, what is its return type? return type is object of the type class complex. It belongs to the class complex. So scope resolution operator, correct? And then the killer similarly unary operator we are using. Okay. So then which operator I will loading, that is okay. So in bracket I want it is going to accept the complex C. Okay. So here I just declared one temporary object of the class because it performs the addition shows the result. So my temp dot x is equal to x plus. Okay. So this is my actually this x indicates the implicit parameter is exactly how I'm passing only one parameter for it. Okay, only one argument. Okay, so it is x plus. I'm having this description on the is equal to c dot x. Okay, and temp dot y is equal to y plus c dot y. So this is I'm going to perform the addition of the real and imaginary part. Okay, and then I have to return this value. I use return. Okay, so I hope all of you understood. The complex is the class and operator plus and operator and this my okay, so that is what I am considering. So after that, let us go for writing the display function. I think it is void display void. Void display void function. Okay. So in the display function, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to see out double quote slash n first. I'm going to display the value of x. Correct. I think slash n is just, or I can use end l. Start with the new line. Okay. Then I go for display. Correct. And then we go for double quote. Just want to okay, just to indicate that it is my imaginary part. Okay, and then I want to display the value of y. Okay. And then also I can use the slash n afterward, or I can use it here. Okay, I think this is the end of the void function. Okay, void function I'm just displaying how it is displayed. For example, I'm having the complex number is suppose I'm having it is 2.5. My complex number is example 2.5 plus. Okay, I can use j. How it is displayed? J 4.4. Okay, 4.4 something like that. Okay, it will be displayed on the screen. Okay, complex number is displayed in this real part and imaginary part. Okay, so this is what my expected output. X value will be this real value is displayed plus j, and then I display the imaginary value. Okay, in my display function. Okay, let us start writing the main function of this program. Void main void function. So you may take it as a single T3 or it may be ABC. Okay, so I just take as per our example function. Okay, and now I will go for what is the value of C1. I just want to say C1 is equal to, correct, X is my constructor I am calling. Okay, I mean hooking this constructor by passing the value. Suppose first value I am passing 2.5 and second value 0.5. Then I use C1 C2, sorry, C2. Second complex number is again I am calling the second constructor by passing the value 1.6 comma suppose 2.7. Just consider these values. Okay, and now I am calling this my operator including C3 is equal to C1 plus C2. Okay, so I call this is my call operator function plus. Okay, C1 and C2 these are not normal integer or float variables or normal data type, but these are the objects of the class. Okay, so we use this function is called, okay, which we have written here. Okay, and then I think I should go for display. I use cout double quote slash n c1 is equal to. Okay, how to display these values of the c1? I think what I need to do is I should go for c1 dot display. Okay. So I think it is better. I should add indel at the end. Cout double quote slash c2 dot display. Okay, c2. Okay, here I use cout double quotes slash n. C3 should be the addition of these two that we are expecting. Again, I call how I can call this c3 dot display. Use get ch here. Ch end of the function in function, and I must use the clear screen somewhere. Okay, I can use anywhere before I display something on the screen. I use here clr So this is my main function. In main function, I'm having the object C1, C2. Okay, and I'm just displaying these values of C1, C2, and C3, which is correct or not. Okay, save if the errors are there. Okay, it is having 3 errors: expression, syntax. Dot x2. Okay, sorry. We are using temp.x is equal to x plus ex. Okay, the return type is temp is also of the type complex. Okay, what type is the object? I must use here return temp. Okay, that value is returned, and where it is stored, this return value temp is C3 because I am using C3 is equal to C1 plus C2. So after performing this function return and stored in the C3, so I am return the temp. Save, yes, F9. So what we are having undefined symbol and y. Where we have this error. Okay. Everyone knows why this error is there. We have not declared the display function correctly. Okay. Display function belongs to which? Yes. Hello. This display function belong to which class? See why we are having this error in this program here in this function. Why it is showing x and y is not defined. Yes. Hello. Is there all of you are listening? Audible?
Yes, sir.
Here, why we are getting the error? Because we have not mentioned that this display belongs to class complex. It is a member function of the class complex. Okay, that is a normal function. Okay, so we must add here the class and scope resolution operator that this function belongs to this, and I think it is not required to write void here. Okay, so it will be void return type. Okay, but there is no we are not passing any parameter to it. Okay, so that is sufficient. Let us check. So we are having F2 to save. Yes. F9. Now it is not having any error. Okay. So this is my expected output of the program. My expected output of the program is, see, this first I'm going to display the value. I'm going to display the value of C2 here. What is the value of C1? 2.5 plus J 3.5. 1.6 plus J 2.7. Okay. And addition should be displayed in the so the real part is 2.5, imaginary part is 3.5. If I perform addition of these two, whether it is correct, C3 is equal to okay the 3.5 plus 2.7. One comes here, 2 1. So I think we have got correct result. The output is visible. Hello. Okay, the output visible is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
So I want everyone to take down the program and then we continue with our discussion. I want everyone to take the screenshot of this program. So this is our first screen. Program to demonstrate binary operator overloading. So this is the class which we have declared or defined. Okay, shall I move to the next screen? Next
Yes,
screen
sir.
you can take the these two functions are there, operator plus function and display function. Okay. Take the screenshot of this, and here we are having it as a main function. Okay. You can take the screenshot of main function also. Okay. If anyone don't have any question, then I will go to the PPT just to explain. See here we have to understand. Okay, so how I am passing this function call in main is C3 is equal to C1 plus C2, means I am having two parameters here, C1 and C2. So this plus is having parameters, operator overloading plus is having C1 and C2. Okay, but in my function definition here you can find I am just taking one parameter. Okay, I am not taking two parameters here. Okay, why it is so? Because the first parameter is passed as implicit. So before plus whatever the parameter I am having, that is C1 plus C2. C1 is passed as implicit and it is having this value x and y. Okay, and the second parameter value will be accessed with the C dot x and C dot y. Okay, so to understand this, I'm just coming back to the PPTs. Let's save the program. Windows and this one. Okay, that we are having your timings, else it will create the problem. Okay, no issue. Hello. I'm not getting any response. Hello. I'm just saying function here. The return type is complex, belongs to the class of this function. It receives only one complex type argument explicitly. Explicitly will return one and implicitly will return one more object. Okay, so it returns the complex type value. It is a member function of the type class complex. Okay, so let us move to the next point. I want this is to be very important. Each and every student listen to hello, my voice is audible now.
Yes, sir.
I think it might be disconnected for 5 minutes. Yes, it is. Hello. So that is disconnected.
Yes, sir, it was disconnected.
Okay, now it is no issue. Okay, I share the screen again, but I hope all of you have taken down the screenshot of the program. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen again. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are discussing here the very important point is, okay, the function is expected to add to complex values and return a complex value as a result, but it is receive only one value as argument. Okay, so the question is, where does the other value come from? Okay, so now I want everyone to look at the statement is, see this statement we are using in the main function. Okay, in main function I am using C3 is equal to C1 plus C2. Okay, here the object C1 takes the, now here what we are going to do is, the C1 object is passed as the implicit object and C2 is considered as the explicit object. As this plus is the function or it is a member function of the class, so some object has to call this function. Some object of the class should call this function. So here the C1 takes the responsibility of invoking the function. So C1, so generally here this plus operator function is called by the C1. So C1 object is passed as an implicit object and the C2 plays a role of argument that is passed to the function. So therefore this statement is equivalent to, okay, look at this, this is equivalent to C3 is equal to C1 dot operator plus bracket I am passing this C2. Okay, so that's why it will accept only, it is a binary operator, it will accept only one parameter, and for the unary operator, okay, it is going to accept only no object because it is called, the object which is going to call itself is going to set it. Okay, so here this statement C3 is equal to C1 plus C2 should be considered as C3 is equal to C1. So C1 takes the responsibility of calling this operator function. So C1 dot operator plus, and now I am passing the parameter C2 to it. So C2 is passed as an argument. Okay. So that is what we are. That the reason. Okay, in though it is a binary operator overloading, in the function I am taking only one object. Okay. So one argument. Okay, and one argument is passed implicitly, and another argument is sent explicitly. Okay. So therefore, in the operator plus function, the data member C1 are accessed directly. Okay, so that's why I'm having this. See, the statement what we have done, suppose C3 is there. So I think we have written this as, okay, as I remember, I think we are consider C3 as X or temporary. So instead of that, suppose I consider C3 dot X is equal to, okay, X plus C2 dot X. Okay, C2 dot X. So here C3 dot X, no issue. What is this X? This X will belongs to the C1. Okay, because C1. So this X data member belongs to the C2 dot X. Okay, so please remember this. So there will not be any confusion because though here I am passing two parameters in my main function call. Okay, but in my function actually, okay, what I'm going to do is the both objects are available. Okay, just check it here. Here what we have done. Yes, here. Okay, so I'm using operator plus complex. Okay, so this is my actually only one argument is there instead of two arguments because one argument is passed implicitly, second argument is passed explicitly. Okay, so that is what our topic of discussion. Okay, I hope all of you cleared the meaning of this, why we are passing only one function. Okay, so I want everyone to remember this. Okay, the first object C1 will take the responsibility to call this function, and the data of the C1 will be passed directly or implicitly, I can call, and plus the second parameter C2 will be passed as a argument. So this is my function takes only one argument. For unary operator, it will, I'm not passing any argument, but the object itself will call this function and the data will be accessible. Okay, so if you remember this, it is more easy for you to write down the program. Okay, so the both objects are available to the function and it can perform the addition something like this. C3 dot X is equal to X. Now what this X is, X belongs to the C1. because the C1 has called this function, so the D1 are accessed directly. The data members of the C1 are accessed directly, so there is no need to write C1 dot x. I can directly write it as x means it is belongs to C1 plus C2 dot x. Okay, is this clear to all? Hello, I am not getting any response. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
I think we are having less time, 5 to 10 minutes. So I want everyone to just go through the rules of operator overloading. Tomorrow's session, we are going to do the operator overloading with the help of the friend function. Okay, we use the friend function, okay, in operator overloading. How we can overload the binary operator using the friend function, and then we go for the extraction and insertion operator overloading. Okay, so just go through these rules of operator overloading. Just read it one by one. Rule number one is only existing operators can be overloaded, which are available in the arithmetic and logic operators. New operators cannot be created for overloading. Second, the overloaded operator must have at least one operand, that is of the user defined data type. Okay, so I cannot have the operator, okay, without the operand. We cannot change the basic meaning of an operator. That is to say, we cannot redefine the plus operator to subtract one value from the other. Okay, so we cannot change the meaning of that operator. Plus indicate addition, minus indicate my subtraction, and which will be as it is. Okay, overloaded operators follow the syntax rules of the original operator. So this, as I think we have seen this in the yesterday session, we can change the semantic, but we cannot change the syntax of that operator. They cannot be overridden. Okay, there are some operators that cannot be overloaded. We just see the table which are not overloaded, which can be overloaded. We cannot use the friend function. As I told, in tomorrow's session, we are going to learn about the how I can use friend function with the in operator overloading. We cannot use print function to set to the operator. Let us look at the table, which we cannot do. However, member function can be used in the overload set. Move to the next rules that we are having. Unary operator overloaded by means of a member function take no explicit argument. I think just now we have discussed this. For unary operator, there is no need to the function will not take any argument, because explicit argument will not take, it will take the implicit argument and return no explicit value. But those overloaded by means of a friend function, if I'm using, then it will take one the rep argument, okay, the object of the argument. So that's why I told tomorrow we are going to see the program of operator overloading with friend function. Similarly to this seventh rule, I'm having the rule number 18. Binary operators overloaded to a member function take one explicit argument, okay, and one implicit is there. And those who are overloaded using friend function take two explicit argument. If it is friend, then I have to pass two argument for binary and one argument for unary. If it is friend function, okay. If it is not friend function, unary operator will not take any no explicit argument. Where binary will take, instead of two, it will take only one explicit argument. 9, when using binary operator overlaid to a member function, the left hand operand must be an object of the relevant class. So that is compulsion. Next is binary arithmetic operators such as plus, minus, star, division must explicitly return a value. They must not attempt to change their own argument, because generally whenever I perform the addition will be written. Okay, so I must explicitly return this value. Okay, that is what the thing that we are having. Okay, now let us check this table, okay, which we are having. Operator that cannot be overloaded. Okay, I want each and every student should must remember this. Which operators we are not overloaded. That is the size of, okay, membership operator. Okay, so that we are having pointer to member operator. So I cannot overload this dot operator. I cannot overload the dot star operator. Okay, I cannot overload the scope resolution operator, and I cannot overload the condition operator. Okay, so these are the operators we cannot overload. As well as when I'm using the friend function, where a friend cannot be used. If I'm using a friend function for operator overloading, then I cannot use the assignment operator equal to operator. I cannot use the function call. I cannot use this, okay, square bracket, and I cannot use the class member access pointer. So these things, these operators I cannot overload if I am considering it as a friend operator overloading function is used. Yes, that's why I told tomorrow we are going to learn the operator overloading, binary operator overloading example where I'm using the friend function. Okay, so I think this is today's homework for you is whatever the program we had done for operator overloading, binary operator plus addition. I think we have done the program which adds the two complex numbers. Okay, I hope all of you have taken the screenshot of this also to implement the program it today as a homework. Okay, and tomorrow we will continue our discussion of binary operator overloading or unary operator overloading with the help of friend function. Okay, and then we go for the next point of the syllabus, that is extraction and overloading the extraction and insertion operator. Okay, and I think the last point of the unit is data conversion. Okay, so maybe as I told in this week, okay, I think we are having lecture tomorrow also, okay, and day after tomorrow also. Okay, or whatever we are having, the number of lectures are available, we will be in a position to complete this unit. Okay, thank you all the students. Just 1 minute, let me download your attendance. Nagdatta Gajam, whether you want to ask